This was quite challenging guide to make because monk in dungeons can do so much stuff and can heal through so many reasons or playstyles. So I just was thinking quite long how to put it all together. But it's really, so let's hop on in. I will go through the stats, I will go through talents, gameplay, rotation, cooldowns, and usually I end up with damage, but we are using damage for healing, so that is not needed as we are doing damage anyway. So let's first check stats. And from the stats, our absolute king is haste. You want to get at 5,000 as soon as possible. A lot of things are about the haste, even your kicks, your Rising Sun King, Blackout Kick, it's scale with the haste, and just overall absolute best stat. And then you can choose between like versatility or critical strike. I have much more critical strike as I like to pump in raid 2. So, and for raids, haste critical. So if you are focusing also for raid content, haste critical is the best. But versatility will be missing for you if you want to push high keys. So if you are full just dungeons, just go haste versatility. Versatility increasing healing, increasing damage, and is mainly putting another defensive layer on yourself. When I was checking logs, people are of course everybody's playing haste, and sometimes people have the same value critical as versatility, like 3,500 bot or something like that, or more critical, more versatility, different option, different type of gear. Maybe they just didn't care, but yeah. So haste is our boss. Critical versatility, just choose your poison. Versatility min-max critical for raid or bot same level as for you. And mastery is not really helpful in dungeon because we want mostly, of course, when we need to heal more, we need to use other abilities, but most of our healing we want to be healing from damage. Because what? Because we want to do damage. So if we can heal with damage, that's what we want to do because we will be helping with damage. Like, for example, I was 21 Neltarus. I have 38,500. What is decent on healer. And our mastery is 51% anyway, so yeah, it's decent. Or 51, it's bad to say like that. It's 7,000. I mean, when some bosses up or something like that, is healing more, but we are not pumping mastery as we mostly healing with damage. Mastery absolutely don't care what we are doing with our damage. And often we are not healing with damage, we are healing AoEs anyway, so the single target is bad for raid because it's not in command, it's even bad for dungeons. Of course you can go like haste mastery and play like caster monk, but there is then damage, you know. That what makes this monk play satisfying for me, because you are just blasting damage, and I enjoy doing damage with monk much more than Disco Priest. I must say, Disco Priest there. It's not my style. So yeah, the mastery, I mean, some people are playing full haste and mastery, but I don't see that as fun or better choice to do. Anyway, anyone who is playing hierarchies, they are never playing mastery, so it is what it is. So you shouldn't, and my guide won't be nothing to do with mastery. So let's continue with the talents. If you want exactly this one, you can find link under the video. And there's few choices, not so many as other characters. Very important here is I choose passive shield because it's something you don't need to think about. But the diffuse magic is better, but you need to know where to use it, and it's another thing you should think about. So when you are just learning Monk, I just recommend go for Euron's Grace, because that's just passive shield on you that is always pumping. They buffed it by 50% lately with 1.7 patch, so it's a decent shield, and you don't need to think about. After you learn more about other parts of the Monk, then you should switch for diffuse magic, and that will be absolutely massive 60% magic reduction, and also you can transfer some debuff back to the target. It's really nice, but you need to know where to use it. And second choice, you can choose shorter cooldown paralysis. Is good when you have incorporeal affix, so you can see ghosts faster. And to get extra point here, it's not a nice thing. We can sacrifice this damage, but it's dealing a lot. You can sacrifice 2% reduce attack, well, avoidance to whole group, not just yourself on another roll. It's nothing we want to sacrifice, but if you want to really have a little bit shorter paralysis because you need it for affix, take it. Because affix can spawn every 40 seconds, and this is 45 seconds cooldown, so just not enough. And from the right tree, also not many changes, but I recommend if there is bursting. this one is really great, and you can sacrifice your T1 if you not really need mana, or you shouldn't need mana if not so high key, or you can sacrifice another like Zen Pulse double cast because it's double casting when it's casting on a target with unloading mist, and this from start you just won't trace it. I know with my experience I didn't even use this for a long time. So sacrifice one of them and put it right here. The most important part here, you are shortening your cooldown of revival, and what is doing revival? Revival is dispelling everybody, and that means if you have high stacks of bursting, this will be shortening your cooldown and you can mass dispel more. If you don't have that shiny Disco Priest or Disco Priest, you are healer, Shadow Priest video. Yeah, so that will be all from talents. Let's go on that scary from start gameplay. Well, I think it will sound scary from the start, but I will try to explain as best as possible. A little bit to say about Monk gameplay before I just go every specific spell. That what you will need to practice a little is that we want to do as much healing with damage as possible. And even I myself, and I'm still doing it, because I'm not playing Monk that long, but I'm playing game much longer to understand what thing works. I'm still using bad things when I see somebody starting getting more damage, and immediately go for other abilities and not healing from damage. And I'm wasting my time by not damaging, by wasting my mana, because usually it costs more to cut the abilities than do damage. And it's, you know, it's not cool. You want to smack. You want to go to the pack. You will click abilities and you are spinning non-stop. Bam, look at the heals. Because it's cool. That's very fun. That is very fun on Monk. So, but you need a little bit practice. I still need to practice to realize what is the threshold. My damage is enough. My damage is enough, and what people are taking, it should be healed by my damage. For example, if you are doing 50,000 DPS, any means AoE single target. If doing 50,000, your healing from that should be between 75,000 and 100,000. So that's what you should expect. So you need to a little bit have experience to balance this perfectly, but doesn't mean you cannot play it. It's simple. But if you want really like min-max, you need to know this is enough. Don't clean anything. Just kick a few more times and everybody will be nice and full. Because I still underestimate how much I can actually heal from my damage. As you can have a look, I was Nautilus lately, and my precision healing, of course, Sharon's give is huge, but that's probably because boosting. So that's what I was always clicking when we had stacks. And our kind of feline ancient teaching is just damage. So would be two top stuff if wouldn't be boosting, because of course it's hard to heal boosting with damage when your peg is already dying. Same problem as with Disco Priest, but Disco Priest is mass dispel, so we have also dispel, but on much longer cooldown than 20 seconds. At least they are nerfing it. So yeah, that's similarly like that. We want to heal. Sometimes it's something higher, something lower, depend on dungeon. And so theory is, well, we can do healing with damage. We want to do healing from damage. If it's starting to be not enough, then we are continuing with other abilities, other casting. So let's hop on specific abilities. So first one, it's not actually the first one, I like to put it on 0, because it's something we shouldn't think about when we actually need heals. We should be taking care about that when we don't need heal. So we are spreading renewing mist on our targets. And renewing mist is not healing that fast or not that much, but like I always keep it on the targets, and it's overall it's quite high because it always heals a little, and when you cast heal on target that is full health, it will immediately jump on some target that is not on full health. So this is quite nice because the hosts are jumping on some target they need, and we should be preparing this like before we are pulling peg, between we are running between the pegs, when both have burst phases, but we will just prepare it between them. So when you actually need to heal a lot, there is usually shouldn't cast it. Of course, when you have boss like third boss in Hall of Infusion, that you need to always heal. Of course, you apply during that damage, but usually you should have this ready when it's chill and not much is happening. So like when somebody starting getting huge damage, there is already too late. Don't apply it there. So yeah, try to prepare it when you have just free time. You should do damage, but running you have free time. Alright, so we have spreading renewing mist on the targets. Then our top priority, as we want to do damage and heal with that, is keep our buffs from feeling stuff. And there is 3 types of buffs, but the 2 of them are together, so it's a little bit easier. But the one type of buff is Ancient Teaching. It's over here talent. And Ancient Teaching is healing 150% of our single target kicks, or single target kicks. Rising Sun Kick, Blackout Kick, and Tiger Spawn. So that buff is important when you want to heal from less targets or if you are using that abilities. So Laser Apply is for 15 seconds. Kicking this for some reason is working very badly. I don't know where IO is working, this one is not working, but this one is not healing. But what you see, the heals are just running miss that was jumping over there. So this is not really showing, so that's one buff we want to keep on our eyes, and there is 2 others that are together in the corner, and one is allowing our Blackout Kick to hit 3 targets. And additional chance to reset Fem Stamp. That's a very good thing, because when we are doing single target, our buff is just on 15 seconds, and that ability cooldown is 20 seconds. So I really want to reset it, so we can use it like 100% uptime. So that's why it's really important. And the second one is Tiger Palm Strike Twice, that's also still for single, and Spinning Crane Kick is healing 3 nearby allies for 70%. So exactly this. For some, this one is working, not single target is working for dummies, but whatever. World of Warcraft. So, the first buff is anywhere. When you cast it, you just have it for 50 seconds, doesn't matter what you're doing. The other buffs are for 8 seconds, but if you are standing in this flower or whatever, I call it blue poop, whatever, it's forever, as long as you are staying in it, but when you leave it, instantly it's getting on cooldown, it's 8 seconds. When you come back, it's restacked. So, this one, you should be standing in that position, and sometimes it's getting really annoying when Tang is moving. When it's Sanguine, Tang always need to move, and you're just annoying because you cannot stand in it and just do nice healing from rotation. And this one is on the ground more than 20 seconds, so you don't even need to reset it. Something it's keeping a long time, so you care about reset just for the single target. So this is what I'm looking at our buffs. Like, I have nice Vigorous because it's really important. So this we need to up, because if we don't have these buffs, we are not doing healing from our damage. It's not like Disco Please, you need to put something on, some buff on your friends who you want to heal. This is working, you need buff, and then we are just healing closest target that is close and lowest health. It's taking priorities, of course. Then our priority when we need to heal single target, it's very many conditions there. Ability, but it's Zen Pulse. And what is the special, weird, different Zen Pulse? Zen Pulse is healing as much as many targets it will hit. So Zen Pulse for each target hits, it's healing 22,000 per target hit. So you need to hit some target to heal with it. It's absolutely huge heal if you tank pull something, I don't know, Bracken and Hollow, 20 enemies in the pack, you put it on tank and he's blasted with the heals and you do massive damage, because he's not scaling with, okay, not scaling, it's reduced beyond 8 targets, but the 8 targets is still a lot. So to heal with that, I need to come closer, as much heal as enemy targets get hit. So this one, on cooldown tank, if you want to just use it for damage with a lot of targets, is decent damage. And if somebody needs to be healed in a single target and he's on melee, so it's usually on tank, or I'm using it myself, because now most people are just playing ranged, you know, priest, mage, hunter, evoker, and whatever. A lot of people are in rage, so yeah, that's usually for tank or yourself. But as we don't have some very shiny single target and Life Cocoon or other targets that are blasting, absolutely destroying our mana and take out a lot of our time, this is nice filler in there. So we are spreading Renewing Mist on our group, then we are keeping our buffs so we can do damage or we can do healing when we are doing damage, and then Zen Pulse, a little bit niche, a little bit damage, a little bit healing, no healing if no damage, so a little bit funny ability. and then we are finally starting doing damage. And which one we are using is depend on how many targets you have. And the difference is you should it's 1 or 2 targets, you are going single target, and 3 targets and more, you are doing AoE. 3 targets I was testing it, and there's very similar what you can do with your healing. So if you have 3 targets, just choose what is best for you. If you are healing through, if you are doing damage on single target, you can heal more single target, because healing from single target hits are spreading is the 150% damage done, and it is split between all enemies, all friendlies together. So if everybody is on 100% of health and just one target is injured, it's better to do single target to just help with that single target healing, because when you are doing healing with AoE, and this one is healing 3 targets, always 3 targets, so it's not as strong. But if you have 20 targets, yeah, this is definitely healing more single than actual single, so keep on mind that one too. And what we are using when you are doing single AoE you've seen already, you just need the blue buffs and you spin to win. That's all you need. It's still good enough to kick sometimes to keep your HOTS uptime, to extend your enemy mist. Otherwise, this is all you need. That buff is for long. This is how we play, and it's absolutely fun and amazing. Look at this. I'm doing 120. I even stopped for a moment. I did 120 heal per second just by rotating between 5 enemy targets. And for single target, a little bit more difficult because there are 3 abilities. Well, very simple. Sunrising King as our priority is giving a new stack of random mist on some target. The second thing is the most damage. And the third thing is extending duration of our HOTS. So Sunrising King as our priority. Our second priority is Blackout Kick, but we always want to use it when we have buff from Tiger Spam. What is Tiger Spam doing is making our next Blackout Kick to strike 1 more times. It's stuck up to 3 times. And that's not so important but in raids, but in dungeons much more important, because as we are standing in Fail and Stomp, our Tiger Spam is hitting twice. That means we are getting 2 stacks per 1 click of global cooldown. That means next, the Blackout Kick won't be casted twice, but will cast it triple time. That means when we are standing in our Fail Stomp, it's much better to use a Tiger Spam first and then use the Blackout Kick, because as it's a triple cast, and that means per 2 clicks, 2 global cooldowns, we use Blackout Kick triple times, so it's definitely worth it, and a little bit damage from Tiger Spam. So if you are standing in Fail and Stomp, use Tiger Spam first, then Blackout Kick. If you are not standing in Fail and Stomp, we are running, or we are unlucky to get another restock because it didn't reset its cooldown and trash moved, use Blackout Kick first. But yeah, if you have buff, Tiger Spam first, second one Blackout Kick, to multiply it, to cast it 3 times instead of 1 time. So most of the time we are good with this. It's enough, and everybody is nice and full most of the times, and it's enough. We are blasting damage, we are healing. But let's talk about now if it's not enough. Our damage is not enough, we need to heal more than 120 health per second as I heal here, or some more single target focus or stuff like that. Then we are starting using other abilities. What a surprise! The first to go is your shiny GG Crane. There's many parts what to learn about this ability. Let's say the basic now, then I'll explain how to properly use that ability, or rather what to do when you click that cooldown. The 3 basic things that is happening when we have a GG Crane up is the first, when we use it, everybody got shield is about 100,000, or everybody 5 targets, so everybody in dungeon. The second thing is when we use our kick, it will heal. So it's Sunrising Kick, Blackout Kick, or Spin Crank Kick, it doesn't matter for Tiger Spawn. And third thing is every single kick we use, we're getting a stack of 33% reduced cast time and mana cost of our enveloping mist. That and is up to 3 stacks. That means we have 3 stacks. Our next enveloping mist is instant cast and is costing 0 mana. Alright, so what we are doing when we pressing Invoke GG Red Crane. Let's start how to pump massive healing from that boy. So we are always selling in Fail and Stomp. Let's not repeat this one. and we click the crane, and every single kick is healing a little. It's not much, but if you use your blackout kick, it's already hitting 3 targets, and that counts as 3 ability used. And if you use target spawn instead of feline stomp, your next blackout kick will be cast not once, but 3 times. That means is casting 3 times, hitting 3 targets, it's casting as 9 abilities used. So, when you just need to blast your healing, you're standing in feline stomp, prepare 2 stacks before, you don't need to do that, blast the crane, and then bam, blackout kick. Again, target spawn, blackout kick, target spawn, blackout kick. And this is, of course, you are healing with more stuffs like that, but this is the base what you want to do from crane. To just spam, stagger spam, blackout kick. Of course, it's more difficult than that, because then we are getting free cast on enveloping mist, and that cast we want to use at least once on the start, at least once on the end, because when you have crane out, we have another talent that is celestial harmony, and that means your crane will just use breath on all targets and it's healing over time. It's not stackable, so if you force more enveloping mist, you won't heal more. So it's just like a restack, or rather restart duration. So you want to use at least once on start, once on end, so you have some passive AoE healing between that kicks. And also when you're spreading enveloping mists, it's nice to squeeze some rising sun kick there. So your enveloping mist is of course increased duration, because that's still healing a lot. And if you can do 2 kicks to extend it to full duration again, it's another huge pump of the heal. So usually when we need to heal just some AoE, because when we are using kick, that boy is... do I still have it? Yeah, I still have it. The Gust of Mist, what he is using, you can see it here, it's healing up to 2 allies for 7,000, so it's healing 2 targets. So it's not for single target, so if you really want to overheal some single target, start using enveloping mist on the target. But obviously if you are healing AoE and that kicks are not enough to start spreading enveloping mist even on more targets, because you know 40% increase healing and healing over time, it will increase your combination of 6 kicks. Double crane will be healing, will be a lot. So this Gas of Mist, this is my mastery 0, yeah, but Gas of Mist for the crate, it was 1 million and I didn't use anything else. When you start using enveloping mist with it, it's just increasing. And also you have of course the shields, that almost 500,000. Or you get there, depend, of course you will have some buffs, and most monks are also playing trinkets, so when you use it you are buffed a lot. There's this beast trinket for monks, it's still insanely good ability even without a trinket, so don't worry about that. Just in case you want to heal a little bit more spot healing or doing that, or don't need to as much healing increase as you need, just a little bit more, you can just press the crane, like Rising Sun King we are using anyway to extend everything, and you can just keep spinning. Oh, I have 3 stacks, I will top up somebody who is getting more damage than others and just keep spinning. Like, it's better to do this than that just never use the crane, or never use in next 6 seconds, 6 minutes rather. So you can also use like casually. And also when you're fighting a single target, you don't have as much pump from his healing, then it's much more important to just spreading enveloping mist, even for AoE, for single doesn't matter. Because if you are fighting one target, you don't have 9 hits of your kick, so it's not healing as much of AoE. So if you click crane, is too sad, it's not ready now. So we are still spamming Rising Sun's kick because it's healing a lot, because it's huge damage, and then we are getting triple hits of blackout kicks. We immediately go the 3 stacks. We'll use the instant enveloping mist to spread it to the group, because a single target, of course, we don't have. It's like 33% less, 33%, just 33% of 33%. You will use your kick 3 times instead of 9 times. That's a huge difference for the crane. So yeah, it's not now it's ready. So let's do that. Let's reset it. Fail stomp. So we want to give you Rising Sun Kick anyway. Bam, 3 stacks. We'll spread it. We'll kick again. Bam, 3 stacks. We'll use on another target. That's just us. Extend durations of that. Bam. Restore time is disappeared because not so fast when you are pumping in dungeons, but yeah. So if it's single target, it's much more important to spread enveloping mist. If this AoE, it's just put enveloping mist if somebody is dying more, or to apply on the start to just these healing overtime effects. What is the breath over here from Celestial Harmony. If that is still not enough, then it's Shannon's Gift. Shannon's Gift is absolutely massive beast. Absolutely massive beast. and it's charging 1 stack per 4 seconds, so in 40 seconds it's fully charged. And let's just hope it will heal this one, and if I get critical, you will see how much potent it has. This was boring, but I'm often getting they don't even have my 8% buff healing increase on my melee and stuff like that. When I do critical, it's about 450,000, and that ability is healing 5 targets, so it's even good for single target. If somebody is dying on single target and you don't have life cocoon, you just blast that. It's amazing ability, quick cast, and it's recharging really fast. Recharging when you are in combat, of course, not when I'm standing over here every 4 seconds in combat. You want to at least have 3 or at least 5 stacks to just cast it. Ideally, when you have 10 stacks, of course, but it's very often overheal then. But yeah, when you are healing some AoE non-stop, it's just wait for a few stacks. Don't use it on like 2 stacks because that's too little heal. And it's just not worth it. Time just cast different ability, some, I don't know, enveloping mist, and then come back after, I don't know, under 8 seconds. When I put Shannon's Gift here, even let's talk about Life Cocoon. As I would sort it between cooldowns, not here, but alright. When you need single target fast heal, just place Life Cocoon. Of course, it's shield, but it's also placing enveloping mist and renewing mist on the target, and that makes you 40% increase healing during, so you can just even pump it easier. But usually, when they got that shield, they are just safe. They will survive on another second, so you can just top up it by doing damage, for example. Actually, one target is dying and you have Cocoon ready. Right now is so short cooldown, so it's just not worth to just keep it for some special occasions, just placing on the target. Then I like to squeeze here and there. We have every 10 seconds we are getting instant cast of Vivify, and as we are spreading our HOTS on the targets, I use Vivify, it's even shared for AoE. We got the 45,000. That's very decent for Vivify. It was probably critical strike, but still, yeah, it's 2 hits critical strike. Its third hit is not showing because it was 100% overheal. Yeah, 58, and it was spread 45. So I have a lot of critical, so you can see potency of just random Vivify. When you have spreading your HOTS on 5 targets, you just squeeze it when you are running between the pegs, or you just lose your melee target, so you need to run like a half second to chase it. You just click it there, or they need a little bit more push to correct the decision. Is definitely instant kick on whole group share. When you do critical, is much more than another kick you could do. So yeah, just squeeze some Vivify here and there, and of course it's as you have your renewing mist spread, you are getting exactly this buff, and it's increasing Vivify by 40%. That's quite crucial, because 40% is a lot of percent of increasing healing. Oh, I explained like idiot. Sorry there. So we did all of this. We have Crane, Shannon's Gift on cooldown. Shannon's Gift doesn't cooldown. Shannon's Gift doesn't have stacks, and our damage is not enough, and we still need to pump heal. Usually on some bosses that require a little more healing than that, and while you're fighting single target, your damage is not so high to just pump everybody absolutely full. If you are in PEG, you are healing 200,000 with your damage because you have many targets and you are just spinning. So that's definitely something else. But usually on the bosses, we need to heal a little bit more. And then we start casting Enveloping Mist. So our big boy, and we just cast it like 3 times. You will also get one free Renewing Mist hot. It's just 5 seconds, but you can extend it to the heavens. So when you still need more healing, click it on a few targets just to spread it around, and continue with your other rotation, continue with your single target damage. We will extend it. That will usually increase healing from the abilities, of course. Increase healing into another bonus what we are getting. So when things are getting to the shit, Enveloping Mist is our go-to cast. Or if we don't have access to melee target, some bosses, you have just problem to stand on melee. This is something to do, and also we can save somebody really fast. If it's somebody really low, we can cast on him Soothing Mist. When we're casting Channeling Soothing Mist, we can cast Enveloping Mist and Vivify instantly, just on the target, so not on everybody. So if somebody really need to be saved from the dying, and Life Cocoon is not ready, Shannon's Gift would be too long to cast, or target. Usually we don't even have Ideally, you want to start channeling and start with enveloping mist because it's increasing healing a lot, and then you're blasting, casting Vivify. But it's often happening when I do this. I just need instantly to heal and don't to heal single target because the target will die. I don't have cocoon, just target and instant spam Vivify. That's best you can help them. Of course, when you get full, then you cast enveloping mist and try to heal with other means. But this is like your panic button. It'll eat your mana, and it's not really effective even for half a second, but it's the I would say fastest healing what you can do in that panic. Of course, best when you have 40% Vivify increase healing, but you will have that very often because you're spraying Renewing Mist. And another magic thing about Renewing Mist is even increasing your mana regeneration, as when you have that proc. 40% healing increase is also increasing your mana. Regeneration is regenerating 3% of your mana per the duration of 6 seconds. So that's massive. I can just show probably. There's Neltaros 21, so easy key, not so high, something special, mana restored. Just look at this. It's absolutely massive. 1.1 million restored, and it's 750,000 mana just from set bonus of Monk. So, and that's set bonus is proccing from a Renewing Mist, so that's why it's also so important to keep it up, because it's increasing our Vivify healing and it's increasing your mana regeneration like a beast. And of course, it's healing. Also, that 40% increase Vivify healing is 40% Renewing Mist healing, so it's also helping. Alright, let's put this healing priority list just some more understandable form. Do not talk much about specific ability, so we are keeping our Renewing Mist on our group. It's good to use your Thunder Focus T with that, because it extends duration for that. Then we are keeping our buffs up with Feel and Stamp. It also do some damage and some healing, but mostly it's for your buffs up for healing from damage. Then we are proceeding with the damage. We are choosing between single or AoE. The split line between single and AoE is 3 targets. On 3 targets you can choose whatever. And then we are doing damage to heal. If that's stopping to be enough, we are going for our Crane as our first cooldown. If that's still not enough, then going Shaman Gift. For AoE also it's good for single, or we can just place Cocoon instantly on single to save somebody. And if still we have trouble to have enough healing, then we are just starting to cast Enveloping Mist on the groups, even without the Crane, and free cast and instant cast. And that definitely will keep them to full. And on the last, it's not like last priority, but our single target saver, when you see somebody and have 2% of health, this is fastest way you can do some higher healing. Oh, I casting myself. I was wondering why I don't see numbers. I thought I was casting on myself. Of course, it will be heal more because you probably will have uptime of your set bonus, what is 40% increase healing. While we are saving somebody, it's also healing nice AoE, and especially if you do critical like I did a while ago. You see, I did 45,000 share to group. That was 1 Vivify. You can squeeze a lot more. So yeah, if you're lucky for critical stuff like that, the Vivify will also decent heal for AoE. But when we need something more for AoE, it's just go first for Enveloping Mist. And even when everybody have Enveloping Mist and you extend it by twice, then you just can cast and spam Vivify, but usually that's not the case, and you are healing enough without that. Now about cooldowns, I put more cooldowns in the priority list. I usually don't do that, but it just fits in the bong and there are not so long cooldowns. But let's go through each other anyway. Let's not talk about Zen Pulse, it's 30 seconds, it's full damage, whatever. Then we have Thunder Focus T. It should be used for extended duration of Renewing Mist, but also you can use it for pump little more damage. And that will heal even more because it's shortened duration, Rising Sun King, or you can use it for instant cast and Enveloping Mist when somebody needs to die. Then we have Chiji, Red Crane. That was in priority list, so yeah, we got that covered. Life Cocoon, saving single target as well in priority list, or Shannon's Gift is not a cooldown, but 40-second recharge time. So let's say, but we talk about everything of this. And then we have Mana Tea, and we have Revival. So Revival, it's not healing as much as Shannon's Gift, but it's instant. So yeah, and it's instant, and it's something more, of course, if you don't have charge Shannon's Gift, that's what you do. And it's also Mass Dispel, that's absolutely huge, like bursting. Or for example, in Horizon Infusion on Dragons, or you are playing Uldaman, 4th boss or last boss, you have 3 debuffs on last boss, on fourth boss you have 5 debuffs. So that's another amazing place where you can dispel Bracken and Hollow. It can dispel even poison and disease. Bracken and Hollow, when you have fighting after first boss, everybody getting diseased, and this is debuff, so you can just mass dispel everybody there. So that's some absolutely amazing uses for that, because healing is not that huge, but if you dispel everybody, it will save so much healing. It's huge heal then. So if you can mass dispel people, focus more on that than healing with that ability, because you will prevent a lot of damage. But of course, it's still decent heal. It's about 100,000, critical 200, so yeah, it's still decent heal to just be instant. And our new play toy, of course, Mana Tea. Mana Tea is overshot. Right now it's overshot. It will be so huge in next season. But in this season, our set bonus, as I was showing you before, our set bonus is absolutely mad lot on Mana Restored. And okay, it's showing healing. Look at this. This is just simple dungeon. I was 100% almost whole time. I drink some Mana Tea. You see 80,000. And I was like 85,000 mana between packs. I just drink few stacks between I go to next one, because otherwise you usually don't need it. So yeah, usually you don't even use it, Mana Tea, but if you are maybe not so experienced with Monk, maybe you run out of the mana. Of course, use it when you need mana, but usually when you need Mana Tea, it'll be on bosses. When you need healing much more, if you start casting Enveloping Mist, your mana will go much faster going down, because that is not so mana effective like doing healing from the damage. And you're not only chugging it for mana, but for every stack you drink, it will decrease mana cost of your every single ability by 50%, and it's 1 second duration for 1 stack drinked. So you don't even wanna drink 20 stacks, because it's quite long cast. Just drink 10 of them, and you can spam some Enveloping Mist during that on few targets during that 3 mana window, and then just continue with the healing. Because when you drink 20 stacks, you know, that's too much what you're doing in 20 seconds. Just save it for later. The thing is, you are channeling that too long if you have 20 stacks. So just channeling is you need to heal between that, and also 20 seconds non-stop burst heal is a little bit overshot, because everybody will be full and you will be just wasting your healing. So yeah, drink like 10 stacks, and then do some mana having things, and then you can after that you can just, you know, start kicking to extend that odds you save mana on, and then you can drink another 20 stacks. Oh, 20 stacks, sorry, another 10 stack. So yeah, you usually just drink about 8, 10, 12, something like that, so you just get buff for a short time. I would say something about damage, as usual I say with healers, but we are healing with damage, and there is no more to say. Every single ability that can do damage, we are mentioning. Okay, we have Chi Burst, but Chi Burst is it just plays Hordel. We just need to get down here for talents, and on this one we can know, but we need to go down here. So this is just something we need to choose between them, and they are really big. You can use it if you want, but there's better abilities you can use instead of that, so you shouldn't. I even have it been dead, but I never use even single ones in the dungeons. Damage is low, healing is low, cooldown is long. It's just So yeah, we are doing damage already. So that will be all from me. If you want me playing Monk, there will be definitely a link under the video, as I'm blasting some dungeons, hopefully blasting. And thank you for watching. Hope you see you tomorrow, and goodbye.